Hello, Revere, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. We have a special guest. Her name is Raponi. She's from Revere, and she lives at the Slaughterhouse. But before she starts, I would like to salute two veterans. They live also at the Slaughterhouse, Mr. Bernie Glassman and David Rosenthal, who are World War II veterans. They were on in the invasion of D-Day, and I salute you. And Ann, I believe you were there when CNN came in to visit them not too long ago?
Yes.
Take it away.
Yes, I was there, and I was just so thrilled to have them recognized for such a great tribute, having been in the Normandy invasion. And when this program is aired, I'm sure that the CNN will already have posted it on their program. But I do want to recognize the fact that they're very important to the country because they were part of that, and we want to honor them today.
Right. How long have you known these two veterans, if I may ask?
I've only lived at the Slaughterhouse for about a year, and that's as long as I've known these two gentlemen, and they are fine gentlemen. They're in their 90s, and they're just very active, and they're doing extremely well, and I'm just glad to have them part of the group that lived there.
Right, Ann, and I want to thank you for bringing their names up, and I would like to mention one thing, if I may. If they're listening out there, Mr. Bernie Glassman and David Rosenthal, we'd love to get them on our show, too, speak about their World War II.
I think it would be an honor and a privilege for you to have them here and have them interviewed. They'd love to be here.
We'd love to have them, so call 781-426-9498, and we'll love to have you. And another thing I would like to talk to you about is the Banner Day at the Revere High School. Please talk about that.
You know, real exciting. This is a good day to have appeared here on your show, Morris. And if I may borrow that paper
Please
from
do.
you.
There you go.
The timing is very good. And I just want to share this with the people who are watching the program. I'm kind of excited about what's happened just recently with the Revere Public Schools. And if I may briefly read the honor here, I want to they call it a banner day. And yes, it was a banner day at the Slaughterhouse for the two veterans. And this is also a banner day for Revere High School in that they just received, the high school did, a prestigious award for having been the best urban school in the country. In the country, that is. There are 10,000 other schools, urban schools in America, that didn't even get recognized or considered for this award. And I'm kind of proud to be able to tell the audience that due to all the hard work with our teachers in Revere and our wonderful administration, including Paul Dakin, who does a tremendous job, that this award was given. And with it was a check for $5,000. I had to share that with the audience today because I'm very proud to talk about it, having been on the Revere School Committee for 8 years and enjoying every moment. Thank you, Morris.
Thank you. And before we go on further, which you are as a former member of the Revere School Committee for 8 years, let me thank you for being on there because it's people like you that make the Banner Day possible, even though you may not be on, but you helped bring it about. So I want to thank you, and the city of Revere wants to thank you.
And thank you. It's been an honor, a privilege, and a learning experience having been on the school committee.
Right. And tell us, before we talk about the school committee expanding it more, tell us a little about yourself, what you did long before the school committee.
Okay, I don't want to go back too far.
I do. It's only a few years. I mean, we're not that old.
Thank you, Morris. Well, actually, I have to start off with the fact that I guess public service has been in my blood all my life because many years ago, I worked at an insurance agency. The name is Albert J. Tonry Insurance Agency. They were located in Boston. And I was a Girl Friday. And I learned a lot of things about the insurance line of business. And shortly after spending a few years with the Tonry Agency, and enjoying what I was doing, I decided, and I had an opportunity, by the way, to go out on my own and start my own business, which I did. I decided to take the broker's exam, which I passed, and with the help of a friend, I was able to rent a store in Newton on Watertown Street. It was a street floor office, and I started there. I'm not going to say the year, but it was approximately 40 years ago. And I had a lease there that was a 10-year lease because the friend of mine owned the building, so it enabled me to start a business with little expenses. It was a 10-year lease at $50 a month. And I didn't even have a book of business, but I was able to get appointed as a broker through the Fireman's Fund Insurance Agency. At that time, they were on Boylston Street. Mr. Hennessy, the president, gave me the appointment. And I built up the business in the many years I was there in Newton to about 500 clients. And I enjoyed dealing with the public. I think the public service is what really keeps me going. And from that business, I decided, after so many years, I decided to sell it. And I retired, and I thought to myself, gee, you like public service so much, you want to keep yourself busy. I decided that maybe I wanted to get involved with children, not being able to have children of my own. I decided to volunteer my time as best I could at the Whelan School. I asked permission at the time from the superintendent, who at that time was Carol Ty, I believe. And I volunteered my time, and I would go into the Whelan School a couple of times a week. And I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed talking to the children. I would read them books, and I just got so much pleasure from sitting there at the first grade classrooms reading to these children. And the children loved every minute of it because they gave them a reprieve from their normal routine.
How old were they, if I may ask?
Yeah, it was wonderful.
How old were the children?
The children was first graders.
Oh.
I tried the kindergarten, but their attention span was a little bit not right for the reading. So I went to the first graders, and it was such a pleasure. I did that for a few years. And that's what moved me up to the school committee. I decided, jeepers, you love children so much, why not get an appointment, hopefully get elected to the school committee, which I did. And I served there just under 8 years. I ran four elections, 4 campaigns, and it was all public service. I was helping children. I was the chairperson of the safety committee. I was involved with the child identification program that was offered by the Freemasons.
Yep.
And then I got involved with Generations Incorporated. They wanted to come in and have find volunteers to help with students that needed special attention. And they've grown massively. The Generations went from being small to being very large, and I was able to get quite a few volunteers to do the work for them. And the volunteers loved doing it because they're mostly retirees, so it gave them something to do. So from there, I'm trying to make it brief, Morris, but from there we moved on to the Conservation Commission, and I've been with the commission for about 5 years, and that's also a very important learning experience about the wildlife and the saving the environment with the birds and the flooding and all that. And I'm learning as I go along, and I think you wanted to mention something, as you said earlier, about the piping plovers.
Yes, there was an article, if I can read it to you, Ann, and then you could expand on it.
Certainly.
This is an article excuse me, there was like I read in the Revere Journal, like there was a little conflict where the birds can live and where they can't live. But this article, I'd just like to give them a little history. As a matter of fact, I'd rather you read it because you know more about it than I do.
I'd be glad to.
Before you read that, Ann, I'd like to do something for you. You have a jewel-based American flag I see on your jacket with sparkling stones on there. And that reminded me, you are a veteran of the community and a good veteran of the community, and we usually give an American flag to honor the veterans. This is from the Revere Veteran Service under the direction of Nick Buller. So I'd like to present this to you, and thank you for coming on the show.
And thank you and Nick Bowen and the city of Revere. I really appreciate those
And Mayor
kind
Rizzo,
words.
I'd like to thank him, too, because he's a veteran, too, you know.
Of course he is, yes. And Mayor Rizzo, thank you so much.
Right. So,
okay. Thank you.
I'll leave that on the table, Ann, and you read that and tell us a little story about that if you can.
I'd be glad to. It says that the piping plover, a federally threatened and endangered shorebird, inhabits wide, open beaches, shorelines, and dry lake beds in North America. The global population of these sparrow-sized birds is only about 8,000 adults.
That's not much.
No. It breeds primarily along the Atlantic coast from eastern Canada to North Carolina, on the shores of the Great Lakes, and along rivers, lakes, and wetlands of the northern Great Plains. In winter, the birds migrate to coastal beaches, sand flats, and mud flats from the Carolinas to the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. And it goes on to say, see more at a website here that's probably too long and too complicated to read to the audience. But to comment on this, since I am a member of the Revere Conservation Commission, I sympathize with the people who live in the area where these piping plovers nest and breed their offsprings. But it's a federal issue, and we, members of the Revere Conservation Commission, would like to help all the people that live and can't use the beach as much as they'd like to because they're in the vicinity of their homes. We'd like to be able to help them, but we can't. It's a federal offense if we disturb their nests. Not only can you get a sizable fine, but you can also go to jail if anybody catches you disturbing the piping plovers. And that's about all I can say about it.
I was going to ask you, just roughly, because I don't want to dwell on this here. People walk their dogs down the beach or let their dogs run loose sometimes. Aren't there signs down the beach that says no dogs allowed on the beach?
Dogs are not allowed on the beach. They have signs telling people that. But that doesn't always work.
I know. I've been down there. I've seen them run around.
Yeah, and they get fined. They would if someone caught them.
Okay, Ann. What would you like to see the school committee do in the future? Let's say if you were on it again, what would you like them to see?
My heart is with the children. I would like them to always concentrate on keeping those children safe. Being the chairperson of the safety committee, that was always deep in my heart. And with all the crazy things that are happening in this country, with the shootings in schools and just everything has gone haywire, I would like them to be more cognizant of safety in the schools. And I'm sure there are other factors that I would like them to improve upon, but the main factor in my head is safety for the children. Safety, safety, safety.
That's good. And I agree with you. I have to tell you, I was at a school, I don't want to mention the town, where I asked some of the kids, and these were junior kids, like, who was the president of the Second World War? They knew who was the president of the First World War, Woodrow Wilson, but they didn't know the one of the second, and he served 4 terms, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and I said approximately after him there was probably 10 or 11 more presidents, and they couldn't name them all. And I said to the child, when I was in school at your age, I could name the presidents that preceded me. And this kid looked at me and he says, yeah, Morris, but when you were a child, there were only 4 presidents.
That's a good one.
So he put me back how old I really was. Oh, we had the honor of going down to the Wakefield High School. Mm-hmm. And they honored the World War II veterans, and they did, and they did a fantastic job. So if Wakefield High School is listening out there, thank you for the ceremony that you did for us, because we had a wonderful time. We loved it. So Wakefield, thank you. And you know, Revere is a great town because we do things with Everett, we do things with Chelsea, even Wakefield, which is a terrific town, and
That's
around
wonderful.
the area over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to talk to you about something. If we didn't discuss it, Ann, but
Okay.
if you're not familiar with it, let it go.
Okay.
Let it go. How do you feel about the casino? Because let me say this about the casino. The money coming in from the casino would help the education, would help to furnish new schools. How would you feel about that?
I can see both sides. I don't want to sound like I don't
No.
I
Do
can
both
see
sides
both
then.
sides.
Do both sides.
I see both sides. I see the good and I see the bad. And at this point in time, I'd rather not comment.
Okay, no problem at all, because that's still up in the air yet. They haven't selected who is going to get the
Whatever
casino.
will be, I believe this. I believe in destiny. If it's going to happen, it'll happen. You and I can't stop it.
That's true.
And let's hope that if it does happen, that it's a big success.
And I've never asked you this question. I'd like to talk about your family, which we never discussed about.
Right. I have 2 brothers.
Were they in the service at one time or any time?
My older brother was in the U.S. Navy. My younger brother was not. And
What are their names?
John Domenico.
Yep.
He lives in Guilford, Connecticut, in assisted living. And the other brother is younger than I am. He is Thomas Domenico, and he lives in East Boston. And
Which one was in the Navy? Yeah.
John.
John? We salute you, John. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, he was in the Navy, and we're very close. We communicate all the time via email, via telephone. We were close in ages. My other brother is much younger than I am, the one, Thomas, who lives in East Boston. But my relationship with my older brother was really great.
Any grandchildren?
No, I have no grandchildren, but I do have a beautiful great niece and a beautiful great nephew.
And their names?
Their names are Isabel. And in fact, her birthday's coming up very shortly. And we have Logan. Logan, my nephew, the father of Logan and Isabel, is a technology director at Massport. He works right here at Massport. He has a big job with Massport.
And his name is Logan?
No, his name is Thomas, named after his dad, my younger brother. Thomas has the 2 children. He lives in Northeastern, and he has the technology director's job at Massport. He has like 55 people working under him, and he's very busy with all the goings-on with Massport, with plane crashes, with the security. He's in charge of the security. He's a wonderful nephew, and he's my heart of hearts. He's the son I never had.
Oh, that's good.
And that's about it for the family.
Right.
My mom and dad are passed on, and they were wonderful people.
You know, I'd like to get back, if I may, to
Sure.
those 2 veterans that you have at the Slatter House.
Oh, yes, I'd like to do that,
I want you to mention something when you go back. They may not know it. They have here on a scroll, it's called the Honor Flight. Mm-hmm. The head of the Honor Flight is a gentleman by the name of Joe Byron. Mm-hmm. Now, what he does, he takes veterans from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and flies them down to Washington for 1 day, takes them to see all the memorials.
They did that. Not to interrupt you, they've been there and done that.
These 2?
Yes.
Good. So
That's
they know.
already happened.
Right. Mention it to the ones that did not do it when you get back, the Koreans or the Vietnams, and they should notify the people to send them an application, or we can get them one, and they would have that honor flight, because it's a fantastic thing.
Okay.
I've been there too. We have 5 veterans from the senior center go down there, and the only reason the veterans came down there is because they were part of the seniors then.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about the seniors. You've come to our senior center once in a while. How do you like it?
I love living at the Sada House. I absolutely love living there. It is a magnificent facility. It has many features. Either you could keep very busy, or if you just want to sit back and relax, you have that choice. They have all kinds of activities. They have an art class. They have a library. They have yoga classes. They have bowling. They just started a soccer. They're playing soccer out in the yard. It's just, I could go on. I love being there, and the people are all so very friendly. It's really a magnificent place to live, and I understand why it takes so long to get in there. I think about now there's a 5-year wait for a 1-bedroom, and they've got a long list of people waiting to come in, and I waited, but I'm not sorry I'm there. I love being there.
So how long have you been there? About a year?
Just a bit, a little bit over a year. Took me a couple of months to get acclimated, but I'm just very pleased. In fact, my apartment is in the penthouse, the 9th floor, and when I look out those windows, the view is magnificent.
You see the ocean?
It's like being on a cruise ship without getting seasick. It's magnificent. The view is just magnificent. It just makes you glad to be alive.
And you got another good thing going for you, and I'm going to give them a plug. You got a nice little food bag downstairs called Kelly's.
Oh, yeah, they do a tremendous business.
I know. In the summertime, it's jam-packed there.
Yes, it is. But we have a dining room also. We get meals 5 nights a week, and the food is good. Yeah,
You said 5 nights a week. What about the other 2 days, like Saturday and Sunday?
Kelly's.
Okay.
Or Santorini's, or Antonia's, or Renzo's. I don't want to leave anyone out.
Don't leave anyone out of that. Kill me.
No, we manage to eat on Saturdays and Sundays.
As long as I got you here, I'm going to put you on the spot because you're going to be shocked. Tell us some of the good food that they make over at the Slaughterhouse.
The good food, it's kosher. It's kosher food, and
that's clean. The word kosher means just clean.
It's wonderful. It's clean. It's
tasty. What do they have there?
I mean, it may not be the Ritz-Carlton, but the food is edible. It's nutritional. I mean, I have no complaint with the food. I just like the fact that I can go downstairs into the dining room and socialize and have a decent meal without having to cook.
Do they ever show like movies or theaters?
Oh, yes. I could go on, but the program is too short here.
No, go.
No, I don't want to go.
Sometime. Go ahead.
I just want to tell you, they have movies on Saturday nights and Sunday nights, and they also have bingo weekly. They have all kinds of things going on.
And how much do the movies cost to get into?
You don't pay. It's all free. It's all part of the ceremony.
And they're late movies, pretty late?
Well, no, that's the only bad feature. A lot of them are older ones, and they try to cater to the seniors with older musicals and things like that. But it's a movie, and it's something to do on the weekend.
I got a question for you, which is someone asked me, and I told them I'll find out for you. How old do you have to be to get into
62 or over.
62 and over. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And it's worth the wait. I'm not sure if they're taking applications about now. They sometimes have a moratorium on applications because they get a long list of people, and they have to, lower the boom because they don't want to have too long a list. But nevertheless, it's a wonderful place to live.
That would be good. That's why I know people, I personally would favor the casino coming in because the more money comes in, more elderly housing could be built. So that would help out, too.
It probably will be beneficial, but see, I don't have a mindset on...
No. I'm speaking for myself.
Oh, no, seriously. I know there are a lot of people that feel as you do. And you just never know what the future holds. It could happen. And whatever's going to happen will happen. And I hope it just benefits the city of Revere. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you, I go around, and I've been traveling around, and I traveled all over the world. I was in Germany twice. I was in Austria. I was in the northern part of Italy and France. I come from New York, which is a big city, one of the largest cities in the country. Mm-hmm. And I lived in Brooklyn. When I moved to Revere 66 years ago, I thought coming from a big city, I wouldn't like it. But let me tell you, I've been here 66 years. I love this place. They do more here for the people in Revere than most of the outside countries and towns do. I know I might get a little criticized for that, but that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And they help our seniors. They help our veterans.
Yes.
They help our disabled people. So they do a fantastic job.
Yeah, they really take good care of our veterans, and rightfully so. They deserve much recognition. They really do.
That's
and
good.
honors, I mean, really.
So, and what do you like to do for recreation, you yourself?
I just play everything by ear. I get up, and there's nothing like being retired.
Talking about playing, remember, I think it was the one time you and I did a DJ show down at the Matola Post many years ago.
I have to tell the people that are watching how wonderful you've been to me. During my campaigns to be reelected to the Revere School Committee, my friend Morris would always volunteer his time. He would encourage me to have him there as a DJ. And he didn't even want to get paid. He said, Ann, just hire me. Just hire me.
I remember that.
And just give me a dish of something to eat. That's all I want. And I thought that was so impressive. I love Morris. Morris, you are an excellent friend, and I'll never forget you. Right,
and you also said to me, I love your twin brother Norris, remember? I remember that. You couldn't tell which one was which when you saw both of us.
Exactly. He's too funny, isn't he? Everyone watching. No, Morris, really, that was so kind of you. And every time you offer to help me, I always won the election. So thank you so much for all you've done for me.
Hey, it was my pleasure to help you,
today.
Ann, because you were good to our seniors when you were on the school committee. You always came down and talked to us.
Right.
You talked about the grandparents, about the kids.
I'm a people person. That's what it's all about, public service and people. That's why I enjoy living at the Jack Satter House. There's all kinds of people there, and I'm friendly with all of them, and I just love every day.
I got to tell you, it took me a long time to get you here because I must have called you about 20 times.
I was wondering if you would bring that up because I was leaving the building today to get here, and I said, my friend Morris, where you going? It's raining out. I said, my friend Morris has been asking me to join him on his program for at least 2 years. I said,
is it that long?
Yeah, I think so. And it seems that long. And I said, I finally agreed today, and I can't let him down, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm just so honored to be here, and I thank you.
Right, Ann, and I want to thank you for coming. And I always end up by saying, God bless you, but you're a real veteran of the community, and so thank you for showing up.
And bless you, too.
And thank you.
Bless our city of Revere, and bless our country, and all the veterans.
Right.
Here and there.
Thank you for coming, and God bless America. And Ann said it all before I could say the rest. Thank you again, Ann.
Thank you.
I salute you. Thank you.
Thank you.